Hi, I'm attorney Demetrius Evans of the TEIL firms, and I'm coming to you with your TEIL Legal Minute. Now, today I'd like to talk to you about culture and business. And what is culture in business? When we talk about culture in business, we are talking about the norms. We're talking about the way people act, how they interact, the way things are done in the business. And this could be anything from what the accounting method is to how people interact with each other in the workplace. As a business person, when you are thinking about culture, you really have to do your research because you may not just be talking about norms, the norm of a nation, but within the country, there may be smaller and more specific local culture and customs that will affect how you do business with your counterparts. Now, one of the areas that I want to look at has to do with what happens in writing and meetings and negotiations with people of other cultures. And in three different places, I look specifically, and I know from some traveling what happened. So let's first look at Europe. So in the UK, which is the United Kingdom, and London is one of the main areas where a lot of business is going on, they do not like to be embarrassed. So even if you're joking, you want to make sure when you're doing business with those of the UK that you don't embarrass them. And be prompt. If you are going to be 5 minutes late, that's probably okay, but if it moves to 10 minutes, at least call. When you're into 15 minutes and the meeting started, just call and try to rearrange. It's already too late. Hugging, kissing when you're meeting people is totally taboo in the UK, though in France it might be perfectly acceptable. Politeness in the UK will get you a long way. Of course, you know they're speaking English, so you want to be very particular about how you are pronouncing your words. The second area, when you're looking at doing business in China, it's very important that you have introductions. So you're not just meeting people for the first time. Introductions are crucial, but make sure when you are accepting business cards that you are holding both hands with the business card, and it's not upside down when you're handing it to the person. Don't write on the business card, don't bend the business card, and make sure when you are putting it away, it is with care and with tact. Again, no hugging, and know that you have to learn the art of small talk in China. People want to know who you are, what it is you do, talk about your family, and that social interaction will carry you very far when you're doing business. If you are going to give a gift, which could be very important even in business in China, if you can't give a gift to everyone, then don't give a gift at all. But if you could give a group gift, that's even better. The third area. The third area of significance is Africa. Now, I know Africa is a huge place, but there are some norms in Africa that I think make sense to talk about in terms of culture. Now, in terms of culture, you don't necessarily always have to be extremely punctual in Africa. Things move kind of by a rhythm. I'm not saying that timing is not changing, but it's not like it is in the UK. You will see in Africa there's a lot of business that's being done between Africans and Chinese. And that's because the Chinese see the Africans as peers, and there's nothing that looks paternalistic. Americans are kind of latecomers to doing business in Africa. But you will also know that you cannot make assumptions on who is poor and not in Africa, because a lot of consumers who may look like they don't have a lot of money will spend money depending on brands. They're extremely brand conscious. And know that one of the most important things with doing business internationally is communication, right? So you may need interpreters. Make sure, especially in Africa, you choose a very local interpreter if you have to have one at all, because the local interpreter will not only tell you about the norms in the business world, but they will also tell you about the individual customs in the smaller groups. Now, every culture, every country is going to have some of these norms, but some things are staple. And I just like to remind you, always say thank you, always say please, if you can. And though communication is crucial, be careful of the tone of your voice and the style of your body language. Your body is going to tell people a lot more about what you're thinking than what it is that you're saying. I mean, just for instance, know that Germans are going to speak a little louder and Japanese people will speak a little bit softer. Turn off your phone so that you're not being distracted, because no one can hear anything if the phone is going off. And be honest about what you say and what you do, because even though you may be in a different country, your reputation could supersede you and the world is becoming smaller. Know that before you launch any kind of a marketing campaign about any products, that you've really done your research and you know what your target audience and your customers are demanding, especially in that particular culture. This is Demetrius Evans with your TEIL Legal Minute. Reach us on the web at TEILfirms.com or 708-531-1740. I love to answer your questions.